It's been a long, wet year for America's midsection as drivers and crews travel to flood-prone Kansas City. The outlook for racing here is an iffy one. Testing these boats is almost a guessing game. Drivers scrambling to find the right combination of power and prop. For this driver, the old man of the sea, the victory drought continues as fate seems to be laughing in his face. Longview Lake continues to rise, and for Bill Seabold, the road to victory is blocked by hot competition. Welcome to Kansas City's Longview Lake, the third stop on the Don Q Powerboat Series of racing. Conditions here are extremely treacherous. It may be a lake with no current, but there are still dangers in these waters.
The flood conditions present in Longview Lake have brought a lot of debris onto the water. The officials get ready. They're looking over the water conditions as we get ready for time qualifying. The first man that goes out, Michael Seabold, Bud Light, 128.3 miles an hour. And in behind him, Mr. Bill, number 7, Bill Seabold. He goes out and lays down a qualifying time at 129.8. And out comes another Seabold. This one, Tim Seabold, running for the Don Q team. He goes out and lays down a qualifying time of 131.1 miles an hour.
For the first time in motorsports history, we see 3 members of the same family taking 1, 2, and 3 on the pole.
I'm extremely happy whether I would have been first or third, long as we got 1, 2, 3. I'm happy that I was able to put the Don Q boat up front. The crew worked extremely hard all weekend. We had a few problems. We got them straightened out, and I borrowed a prop from my dad, and we went out and set the pole.
I loaned Tim one of my backup props, and he goes out and takes $1,000 away from me and takes pole. And you know, Mike finished third right behind me, and it was really racing history. And I'm really proud of both of them, and hope it's something that no family's going to repeat that for a long, long time.
Welcome, race fans, to Kansas City on the Don Q Powerboat Series of racing. I'm Peter Combs. This is Walt Yarborough. Walt, the big story here has got to be the horrible weather.
Well, the weather has been all over the heartlands of America. Threatening thunderstorms coming, but this can be very fast water here. The story is, can we run on this course? Will the weather let us alone? Will we get in a race? If we do, it's going to be tough.
We'll find out. Stay with us as we drop the green flag. We'll be right back.
The Don Q Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Don Q Rum, fine Puerto Rican rum. Welcome back to the Don Q Powerboat Racing Series, brought to you in part by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Welcome back to Kansas City's Longview Lake. The weather is hot and the water is extremely high, and yet this is a great day to make boat racing history.
And making history, sitting on the pole, number 88, Tim Seabold, Don Q Rum. Behind him, Bill Seabold, number 7, Bud Light sponsored. And behind him is number 11, Mike Seabold. So it's 3 Seabolds heading up the pole. In the 4th position, number 83, the ARCO specialist of Mr. Kevin Miller.
Behind Kevin, Scott Gilman, Bill Joel, John Friesen, and Ken Davis. Larry Davis, Craig Wendt, Rusty Campbell, and Australian Kay Marshall. She's followed by Steve D'Souza, Drew Belk, Todd Beckman, and number 58, Don Johnston. Then Ben Robertson, Bob Humphrey, and number 51, Mark Trotter.
And the Red Line Oil course description here on this very narrow course on Longview Lake. We go across the course down to the narrow turns 3 and 4, back up the front straightaway past the start-finish line, into the wider turns of 1 and 2, back down going to be the windswept back straight of this race course, and then around for 50 laps of racing here on Longview Lake.
As we mentioned, the water here is extremely high on Longview Lake. Debris in the water is something that a lot of these drivers are worried about. The fans, however, are not worried at all. They're here for one great day of racing.
And all the boats are lined up and ready to go. The flag is up. We're waiting for the modified Le Mans start. We'll send all of these boats out across the race course at one time. Here they go, accelerating away. Number 90, Drew Belk, gets out very quickly in the all-blue boat. Number 51, the Arcadian. But down on the inside is number 88. That is Tim Seabold, but the trademark of Bill Seabold all year long has been able to get out very quickly. But down on the inside, number 88, having the inside line, is the Don Q boat of Tim Seabold. As they go around the corner, Seabold taking the short way around the race course.
The Seabolds now running 1, 2, and 3 in this race, followed by Kevin Miller, then Scott Gilman, and this man, number 38, Bill Joel of B&B Racing. Bill did a great job out in Bay City 2 weeks ago. He came in 2nd place.
But right now it's number 88. That's Tim Seabold of the Don Q boat. He's got it out in front of his dad, number 7, Bill Seabold. Earlier this year in Augusta, Georgia, it was the oldest son of the family, number 11, Michael Seabold, that took on his dad, and now number 88, Timmy Seabold. He is up to the challenge and got it out in front.
So far, the Seabolds this year have run extremely strong. As you see in this race, they're running 1, 2, and 3, and you gotta wonder, Walt, what the rest of the drivers in the back of the pack are thinking about what seems to be an undefeatable racing team.
Because for the last 3 years, the Seabold family has been in somewhat disarray. Even though Mike Seabold was the champion last year, it was the very end of the season when he came on. The year before, it was Craig Wynn out of California. And the year before that, it was Californian number 77, Scott Gilman. But so far in the last year and a half on the Formula One circuit, it has been absolute Seabold, Seabold, Seabold.
And that's exactly how they run out of turn number 4. Seabold, Seabold, and Seabold. Tim running extremely strong in the number 88 Don Q boat after some problems he ran into with his propeller in qualifying. He apparently had to borrow one from his dad. He did so well with it, he took the pole, and his dad made him give the propeller back.
Well, give the propeller back or not, the Don Q Rum team has put together a package that has put that young man, Tim Seabold, out in front where he thinks he belongs. This driver truly coming of age, and talking about a driver with truly bad luck, number 83, Kevin Miller. 2 races in a row, this man's gone on his head, and number 88, Tim Seabold, the lead he had is all gone. But the most important thing is, number 83 has been pulled away from the craft by Clay Engel of the Stars Powerboat Rescue Team.
I got caught into a hole caused by Billy or Michael's gear case, or prop just lost bite and the boat rolled, and that was all she wrote for me.
And here we go on the restart as they all fire back away and out on this race course. But look, number 7, Bill Seabold on the inside, and number 11. But what's missing here is number 88, Timmy Seabold. Here they come down around the corner. Bill Seabold carried him all out past that primary turn buoy. Now look at him come down that back straightaway. He's got the inside line. He sets up the leader's line, and the rest of them just have to follow him and trust that Billy's turning where he wants to. What Billy did, though, he took him out way past it. Then he turned back down to the inside. They were trapped and had to chase him back down to turn number 3. And look what it's done for him. Already, he's jumped out the lead. Here comes number 88, Timmy Seabold. He pulled back up to the crowd, and look at 77, the interstate battery of Scott Gilman as he moves up the inside. Then number 38, Billy Joel, getting Kevin Miller, and the rest of the field following on in as they all chase Mr. Bill, Billy Seabold, as he really took him off the starting dock and showed him how to drive around this race course.
We got to wonder what kind of a sense of deja vu that Bill Seabold has right now. He is once again in front, but every time this year that he's been in front of a race, something has happened and he's had to drop back. And you got to wonder also, Walt, about the dynamics within the Seabold family. Are we talking about a Seabold dynasty, or are we talking about a family feud?
Well, I don't think that Bill or Mike care who wins as long as it's Bud Light. But with Michael's case, he's Bud Light. His brother is Don Q Rum. That's number 88. And then you've got 2 brothers deciding who's going to be out in front. Maybe you let Dad win's okay, but if you beat D-Pound, you're going to have to do a job for it. And right now, number 11, Michael Seabold, has got the edge on his younger brother, number 88, Tim Seabold, but Tim's going to be pushing it.
Got to wonder how long that edge is going to last. Still, both of these brothers are chasing Big Daddy, number 7, Bill Seabold, as we come around the course here at Longview Lake in Kansas City.
Well, the one thing, number 11, Michael Seabold, is the reigning 1992 world champion in Formula One. So sitting back in second place is not somewhere he likes to be. But he knows back right behind him is his younger brother, Tim Seabold, not only wanting to beat the current world champion, but just beat his older brother.
Now, behind this family feud is a man who knows just how dangerous this sport can be, number 77, Scott Gilman.
The example is the first race we ever went to 7 years ago, a bow race, and you know, I pulled my mom and dad into this, and we're going to go bow racing now, and I blew over in the first I.O.G.P race in the first turn beside Bill Seabold and Steve D'Souza, and backwards, upside down, and they thought I broke my neck, and you know, I was in a neck brace for about a month, so that almost ended.
Even though he began very shakily, he went on to win the world championship in 1990. There's the 1991 champion wide on the outside. That's number 50, Craig Wynn, as he goes after Mark Trotter, the young man out of North Charleston, South Carolina, running for the bright orange Arcadian Motor Carriers. But right there, number 50, Craig Wynn, he tries to pull it out, run from the back. Consistency is what brought him that 91 championship.
Craig is a seat-of-the-pants kind of driver. He really enjoys getting in the boat and feeling how that boat is running at the moment, and that's how he makes his adjustments. Still, that kind of seat-of-the-pants driving is going to give way as technology progresses in this sport, and one of the leaders in that race is Ben Robertson.
It takes a group of people with all this expertise, and Bob sees what's going on. Jim can watch the boat. I relate to them what the prop's doing. The computer is picking up all the other data, and it's done by feel and it's done by computer. The old saying goes, the computer does a wonderful job, but unless you can interpret all that information and put it to the water, none of it's any good to you.
Well, you get a lot of technology and a combination of that technology, and one is the racing hull they're using. That's a Vanderbilt. Power steering, adjustable sponsons, all the latest high-tech stuff, but it's not getting the job done for that IBM ThinkPad team, and I think there may be a hull change in the future for number 57, Benny Robertson. Now, right there, that number 17, Ken Davis, he's driving a very high-tech Leecraft hull, and he's driving to pay the bills. His wife's fixing to have twins, so he's got 2 missions while he's out there.
Walt, here's another man with a mission, number 7, Bill Seabold. He continues to lead this race on lap 15 as he comes up on number 55, Kay Marshall. Kay is all the way in from Queensland, Australia. That's an awful long way to come to get lapped in this race.
Well, Kansas City, Missouri is a long way to come to get dropped out of the race, but that's what's happened to number 11, Michael Seabold. There's number 90, Drew Belt, and the man that's moved back into second, number 88, that's Tim Seabold, as he tries to get around the Mayflower International of Bobby Humphrey. He goes down tight to the inside. Humphrey's pushing hard to keep from being lapped, but it is getting rough out there on Longview Lake.
Still plenty of great racing to come, so stay with us on the Don Q Powerboat Series. Welcome back to Kansas City and Longview Lake. I'm Peter Combs with Walt Yarborough, and this is the Don Q Powerboat Series of racing. And this man driving the number 88 Don Q boat is Tim Seabold. He's currently running in second place.
But fresh in his memory is when he was running in first place prior to the restart. So now he's trying to push hard to move himself back up that front position. A man that prospered from the restart is number 77, Scott Gilman. He's on the Interstate Battery team. That's a brand new Seabold hull. He won his championship in a boat similar to that back in 1990. And with his lethal and aggressive driving style, he's got to have a boat underneath him that he can trust. He jams him into the corners, brings it out hard. He sets it right up on his tail and chases hard, because when this man is racing, the only thing he knows is to try to win. And number 88, the Don Q run with Tim Seabold, he's looking in his rearview mirrors. He sees behind him the hard-charging Scott Gilman, and that's not anything he really likes to see.
The wall right behind Scott Gilman is number 38, the Maxi-Blast boat driven by Bill Joel. This guy has the ability to be a real deal breaker. He's running in 4th place right now, and he's right behind Gilman. He's the guy that's going to push this race faster and faster. So now you have 4 or 5 guys that are really racing at a breakneck pace. They're having to make their way through traffic, as you just saw Billy Joel passing number 3, Bob Humphrey. And now the race is on for 3rd place. There's number 77, Scott Gilman. He's running hard. He's driving extremely loose, as you can see him just dancing on top of the water. Behind number 77, the number 38 boat, Bill Joel is hot on Scott's tail.
Well, as Joel goes into the corner, he knows where Scott is. Scott looks in the rearview mirrors. He sees right on the inside of it. Billy tried to jam it in. Scott was able to out-accelerate around the corner. Now we got number 55, Kay Marshall. A back marker may play in this whole scenario as Gilman goes wide to the outside. You had seen number 38, Billy Joel, jam it down to the inside. Gilman is going to use Kay Marshall as a blocker for him to hold off the hard-charging Billy Joel. As they come out of that corner, he goes wide to the outside, and there you go. You see number 38, Billy Joel, the white boat just flashing out the screen. He had to go wide to the outside because there was no room down on the inside for him, as Kay Marshall held off the hard-charging young man out of Tampa, Florida.
What a great job of strategic driving on Scott Gilman's part, as he's using this traffic, as you said, to basically block for him. Number 7, Bill Seabold still in the lead. Number 88, the Don Q boat driven by his son Tim Seabold, is still in 2nd place. Number 7 also having to weave his way through traffic as he gets by Benny Robertson's boat. Well, he didn't quite get by him there, Walt. He's still working on getting through that traffic.
Well, he saw Benny come down in the corner. He set it hard, started to float to the outside. Bill saw that and turned him loose.
Some great racing at the front of the pack here. Number 77, Scott Gilman, still in 3rd place, but watch this. There's Bill Joel. He's swinging wide to the outside. And Walt, at this point, I guess it becomes a race between speed and tactics.
Well, the tactic that Scott Gilman's using, he learned a long time ago. The shortest distance between any 2 points to the straight line. He's staying down on the inside. Bill Joel is trying to use raw brute power. He's on the outside. He feels he's got speed on number 77, Gilman, so he's going to go to the outside and just try to out-horsepower him down the straightaways. And that's what he's doing there on the outside. But still on the inside, the short way around is Gilman. They come up to settle the turn, still on the inside, choosing his own line. Where he's going to go is 77.
All of these boats are being driven by 325 horsepower engines as we look at Benny Robertson rounding turn 1. But you know, the real engine that drives this race is sponsorships.
And why do the IBM ThinkPads, the Bud Lights, the Interstate Batteries want to get involved in Formula One racing? Well, it's got a high profile. It's very exciting. They see a great return on investment when they're involved in this. One of the newest sponsors in our race, Mayflower International.
One thing we like about the race course, you know, we're in a fantastic city in Kansas City. My sponsor, Mayflower International, has a lot of guests down here, and they're having a great time. The weather's not bothering them that much. They're down in the VIP tent. We have our own hospitality tent, and they're just having a great time enjoying the show. They think Formula One racing at this point in their investment is a better deal than NASCAR.
back in the action here, still duking it out. Number 38 and number 77, both of them chasing number 7, the Bud Light boat driven by Bill Seabold.
As Seabold continues to run out in front, he's hoping this will be the time. The first time in 3 years he's been able to pick up a checkered flag. There's Bobby Humphrey all year long. He's tried to build engine technology, and it hasn't worked out well for him. He's trying to finish this one here in Kansas City.
Boy, that's a real understatement there, Walt. He says that in the past 2 races, just in the span of 2 races, he has gone through 5, count them 5 engines.
Well, when you try to build in a lot of horsepower to overcome maybe some limitations of your boat or some other problems, well, it can be a problem. Number 50, Craig Wint, when he won his championship back in 1991, he did it on one thing: dependability. He finished every race and finished up higher every race, picked up the points. That's what number 38, Billy Joel, has said he's going to do this year. Pay attention, try to finish up front, gather the points, and at the end of the year, be ready to strike for the championship.
Well, there's number 50, Craig Went, who's been having a bit of trouble this year getting his boat set up exactly right. I know in Kansas City they were working on several different prop combinations trying to make it work. Number 38, there's Billy Joel continuing his strong run, continuing to chase number 77, Scott Gilman, as he moves up through traffic.
And moving through traffic can mean a championship or not a championship or involving an accident. And looks like we've got one down there in turn number 4. That's number 33, the rookie John Friesen, as he's involved in an accident. By what we hear, he got involved with number 3, Bobby Humphrey, as they came together in turn number 4. They'll be pulling him out of the water. We see the OK sign over the head. There's the boat he was involved with, number 3.
I got cut off real bad by Bobby, and there was just nowhere to go. I let off, but it was too late and we collided. And it picked the left side of the boat up, and when it turned on, just fell.
Well, once again, we're going to have to restart this race. As you see the pace boat out there, they're going to start in the same positions they were in when the accident occurred. Here's the green flag, and once again, number 7, Bill Seabold, has led the pack.
So he has survived a couple of restarts to maintain out in front. Remember, 3 years since a victory, and this could be the time. But Tim Seabold right behind him, pushing hard. And now number 38, Billy Joel, has got up to 3rd place on that restart. He was able to get around Scott Gilman. So early on, the restart was tough on Timmy Seabold. He's back to 2nd. But 38, Billy Joel, used the rolling start to his advantage to move up into a solid 3rd position. But look at Timmy Seabold on the outside. Boy, does he power around him, as it looks like 38, Billy Joel, came off the corner and lost power. And earlier in the race, you saw Billy Joel going wide to the outside, trying to out-horsepower that man right there, number 88, Timmy Seabold. But this time it was Seabold on the outside, as he's still charging, chasing the man in the lead, number 7, the Bud Light team of Bill Seabold. But coming back now is number 38, Billy Joel. He comes off the corner and trims it hard. There's number 94 moving slow to the outside. That's Steve D'Souza. And then number 43, that's Rusty Campbell out of Augusta, Georgia, with number 77 fixed to lap him on the outside, the interstate batteries of Scott Gilman.
As the battle continues between Gilman and number 38, Billy Joel, which you have to realize is that these guys are driving 2 completely different boats from the boats they were driving when they started this race. And one of the main reasons is they've been burning off fuel all day long.
And they start off with about 28 gallons of fuel. That's approximately 200 pounds of weight in there. Now, then they decide how they're going to burn it off. They're going to burn off most of it by the end of the race. Now, Billy Joel, he ran wide to the outside, kept it hammered down all day long, and he burned off a lot of fuel. Well, number 77, Scott Gilman, he stayed tight to the inside, not quite as long way around, and didn't burn off just as much. Now, number 17, Ken Davis, the Coca-Cola sponsored entry, he's out there still running towards the back of the pack, but finishing up well. And our man, number 7, Billy Seabold, he's out in front and staying out there. He's been running pin to pin all day long after the restart to maintain that lead as he works his way through some of the slower back marker traffic. Number 88, Tim Seabold, still trying to run down his dad sitting out in front, but coming up hard behind him is number 38, Billy Joel, as Joel continues to press on him. He's going wide to the outside, running a light fuel load, and really got it dancing out there on this lake.
We're coming down to the wire here on Longview Lake in Kansas City. Number 88, Tim Seabold, chasing his dad and seems to be closing the gap. But this is the real story right here. Number 7, Bill Seabold, hasn't won in 3 years in North America, and yet he may be on his way to his first victory right here on Longview Lake. Bill Seabold seems to be backing off just a little bit now, and that's allowing his son Tim Seabold in the number 88 Don Q boat to catch up. There you see Timmy, and he's just a couple of seconds now behind his dad, Bill Seabold.
Well, Bill, knowing this is the final lap, he says, come on, Timmy, you got too little too late, because the checkered flag is coming out for me, and I'm the happiest man in the state of Missouri because I finally have ended the drought. It's been raining all over the Midwest, and now it's raining checkered flag for Bill Seabold.
The first time in 3 years this man has won a race, and it happened 3 years ago this weekend.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota, the last time that Bill Seabold picked up a checkered flag here in North America, he comes to the start dock ready to take his lap of honor. What a happy man he is.
A smile, just about ready to split his helmet in half. And this again continues the Seabold dynasty this year in the Don Q Powerboat Series. Bill finishing number 1, his son Tim finishing number 2. We'll be right back to Kansas City and Longview Lake right after this. Welcome back to Longview Lake in Kansas City as Bill Seabold takes a victory lap for the first time in 3 years.
Restarts didn't hurt me today because it fired every time and got off the dock beautifully. And you know, then when that last 9 laps there, I go, oh no! I just saw Augusta repeating itself. You know, with only 7 or 8 laps left to go. But you know, the yellow really helped because I got the jump on him coming off the turn here, and you know, it saved the race for me.
And after 3 races, this is how the points stand. Number 7, Billy Seabold, 1,421 points. Then Tim Seabold behind him. Number 11, Mike Seabold, 1,077. Then number 38, Billy Joel. Number 5, Rick Adamczyk. And number 50, Craig Wendt, rounding out the top 6 with 804 points.
After Craig, number 43, Rusty Campbell, followed by Ken Davis with 701 points. Number 77, Scott Gilman with 674 points. Larry Davis. And then John Friesen, the rookie from Canada, with 641 points. He's followed by number 94, Steve D'Souza, with 612 points.
Then number 83, Kevin Miller. Number 3, Bobby Humphrey. Number 58, the La Victoria Salsa of Don Johnson with 425 points. The Australian Kay Marshall with 355. Number 27, John Nichols with 332. And number 57, Benny Robertson, the IBM ThinkPad boat with 301.
Then Drew Belt with 295 points. He's followed by Mark Trotter. He has 242 points. Jim Howenstein, and then Keith Barco and Brett May with 170 points. Rounding out the pack, number 6, Todd Beckman with 160 points. Bill Seabold wins for the first time in almost 3 years, and Walt, that was one happy camper who got into the winner's circle there.
Well, he comes here to his home state, Kansas City, Missouri, normally known as the heartlands of America. Now it's the wetlands. But no problem to Bill Seabold. Wire to wire, just hammers the competition.
An amazing win for Bill Seabold. Next stop, we're on to Saskatoon, Canada. We'll see you then on the Don Q Powerboat Series. For Walt Yarborough, I'm Peter Combs.
The Don Q Powerboat Racing Series is brought to you by Don Q Rum, fine Puerto Rican rum, and in part by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.